from getting brutally demolished by professional wrestlers,
Flip! Oh my God!
to getting shot in the stomach. These are 15-time streamers messed with the wrong opponent, starting off with IShowSpeed, whose WWE debut blew up in his face. 2025, Speed made a guest appearance at WWE Royal Rumble where he was asked to replace an injured wrestler. For Speed, this seemed like a dream come true. However, soon after he got into the ring and helped Braun Breaker eliminate Otis, his luck quickly ran out as just seconds later, Breaker turned on Speed and delivered a devastating spear that sent him flying.
Speed! Impressive standing backflip! Oh my God!
To make matters worse, Speed was thrown out of the ring and crashed into the commentary table, ending his WWE debut in the most humiliating way possible.
Speed! And Otis! Speed still in the match! He hasn't been now it's...
Later that day, Speed posted a backstage video with Logan Paul, where a nasty scratch could be seen on his leg.
Are you actually good?
And then made it clear that he was done with wrestling. However, this wasn't the only time Speed got knocked out by a professional fighter, as the next incident involving a boxer also left him brutally humiliated. During the build-up to Speed's versus KSI fight on December 15th, 2023, Speed jokingly claimed that KSI was too scared to fight him, and even went so far as to say that he could beat him in a fight.
You take his head off? How you all feeling, you reckon?
However, as soon as they stepped into the ring, it became instantly apparent that Speed's trash talk was nothing more than empty words, because from the very first bell, KSI completely dominated the match, effectively delivering body shots on Speed. Finally, after delivering a final devastating shot, KSI showed mercy on Speed and offered to end the match. But since Speed's ego was too bruised to accept defeat, the match continued for a while until KSI realized Speed was a much weaker opponent and finally tapped out.
Good.
And while you can argue that KSI did the honorable thing, this gesture didn't go down with Speed, who was seen shedding bitter tears soon after. However, while Speed walked away with only a bruised ego, Sneako met a far worse fate after he dared to challenge a professional UFC fighter to a fight. In February 2024, Sneako challenged UFC fighter Sean Strickland to a sparring session. For those of you who may not know who Strickland is, he's an absolute beast in the ring who's also known for his brutal precision and relentless aggression. However, Sneako believed he could take him in a fight. Well, during the match, Strickland didn't hold back and delivered hard punches to his face. Soon enough, Sneako was seen visibly struggling as Strickland continued to tear him apart. At one point, Strickland's brutal punches tore Sneako's nose open, sending blood streaming down his face. Now, while getting into a fight with a UFC fighter was wild, the next brawl raised the stakes to a whole new level. During an event in Detroit, tension quickly escalated after attendees kept pushing their cameras in the security guard's face, prompting the security guard to ask the guest to get the camera out of his face. Probably thinking that the security guard was all bark and no bite, Sneako then had the audacity to knock off the security guard's hat, which immediately led to severe consequences. However, when it comes to streamers who cross the line multiple times, the next streamer on this list is even worse than Sneako. Zerka is known for his degeneracy and took things even further by making derogatory comments about fellow streamer HS Tiki Taki's mother. But things reached a boiling point when Zerka decided to confront HS Tiki Taki at a restaurant. But although Zerka might have deluded himself into thinking that he could take HS Tiki Taki because of his size, the harsh reality set in after he was overpowered and thrown to the ground.
Chill, boys!
Zerka is the literal definition of the loudest in the room is usually the weakest. While Zerka was humbled by someone much smaller, the next streamer would push things too far for content. YouTube pranksters have been pushing the limits for years, but top-notch idiots took things way too far when he decided to mess with UFC fighter Raul Rosas Jr., because apparently that seemed like a good idea at the time. At first, Rosas tried to brush it off and warned the prankster to back off.
Go work out, bro. Go work out. Go work out. Go workout, bro.
But instead of walking away, top-notch idiots doubled down and boldly challenged Rosas Jr. to a sparring match.
He's a UFC fighter. You don't want, bro. You want to get hit by him?
Are you joking with us or no?
I'm not joking with you. It also
The plan didn't go as expected because within seconds, top-notch idiots was completely outmatched. But the real punishment came the moments later when he was locked in a rear naked chokehold and completely lost consciousness.
Raúl. Hey, wait, no, Raúl.
But by the time he finally revealed that it was all a prank, the damage was already done. Although top-notch idiots was involved in a dangerous altercation, he escaped with minor injuries. However, the same can't be said about Tanner Cook, who didn't stop until he was silenced in a near-fatal shooting. Tanner Cook built his audience by filming awkward and confrontational prank videos. His content followed a particular formula, making strangers uncomfortable for entertainment. But while that had worked in the past, this time his antics pushed someone over the edge. On April 2nd, 2023, Cook was at the mall approaching random people when he approached Alan Colley, a 31-year-old DoorDash driver who was in the middle of a delivery.
What's that?
Hey, Dip, quit thinking about my tweet.
Cook then walked up to Colley and held his phone close to his face. But what he didn't anticipate was that Colley wasn't in the mood for a prank. After Colley repeatedly told Cook to back off and he refused, he pulled out a handgun and shot Cook in the stomach. But in all honesty, even Tanner outrageous action are nothing compared to the next streamer on the list. Known for promoting crypto scams and promoting get-rich schemes, Aiden would find himself in a nightmare after being kidnapped and held for 3 days. And during this time, he was allegedly tortured by his captors, who demanded a ransom of $3 million. However, while Aiden was later released, he posted a video explaining the situation, which understandably attracted no sympathy.
Everything that happened is my fault. I'm not going to put the blame on anybody else. I'm not going to try to put the blame on anybody else. I feel humiliated. I feel disgusted in my actions. I feel disgusted in what I did. After 2021, I feel like a lot of it was illegal. All these guys that are owed the money, I'm going to do what I can do to make it right. I'm going to call each and every one of you individually.
But the story doesn't end there. In May 2024, Platursky was arrested and charged with fraud and money laundering related to the alleged Ponzi scheme and is currently facing jail time. At the end, Aiden finally got his karma, much like the next streamer who ultimately paid a heavy price for his reckless behavior. Known for his arrogance, audacity, and recklessness, Neon would push his limits during a press conference between Nate Diaz and George Masvidal. After announcing that he had a question, he would go on to pose a provocative question to Diaz.
When you do get knocked out, are you going to retire?
This question didn't go well with the boxer, who responded with an expletive-laden rant and threatened to deal with him.
I got little girls over here.
And as it turned out, those weren't empty threats, because right after the conference, Neon was seen running for his life after being chased by members of Nate Diaz's team.
I'm sorry.
But as bad as that situation was, it still doesn't compare to the time Neon thought it was a good idea to mock the dead. Back in 2022, Neon would be seen dancing the Naughty Bop, a dance associated with Naughty Osama, a late rapper who tragically passed away. This disrespectful act would come to the attention of DD Osama, who would confront Neon in person and demand an apology. But what no one expected was Neon's reaction.
I'm trying to tell you, why you not listening?
Sorry, my bad. I'm just nervous, bro. I'm sorry.
However, while this taught Neon a life lesson, the next streamer's stunt at the airport almost got him into serious trouble. In 2023, the prankster decided to pull a prank where he pretended to take someone else's luggage to see their reaction. But unlike his usual lighthearted pranks, this one quickly escalated when the man whose bag Cannell grabbed became aggressive and began pulling him by the hair.
Let go of my shirt.
However, despite his plea, the stranger refused to let go until airport security intervened. In the end, Cannell reaped the consequences of a reckless prank, much like Foolsy Tube, whose obsession with content would eventually backfire. At the height of his YouTube career, Foolsy was known for his over-the-top social experiments. However, one particular prank ended in disaster. The concept was simple: walk up to a stranger, take their food without asking, and start eating it right in front of them. But soon enough, Foolsy would learn that this was a disaster waiting to happen, because as he approached a man and grabbed his food, the man didn't hesitate before decking him right in the face.
It's like, what do you gotta do out here to get a girl's number? They're all hella shady. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What?
That's eating my pizza. What are you doing, man?
We're just eating some pizza, y'all.
Man, what the
What?
And as you can see, the impact was so strong that Foolsy immediately collapsed. However, while we're still on the topic of dumb streamers, Stable Ronaldo's infamous altercation with Bradley Martin still stands out as one of the most humiliating in YouTube's history. After meeting up with Bradley for a stream, Stable Ronaldo decided to mess around by snatching Bradley's hat off his head. But as you would expect, it didn't end well, because after Bradley beckoned Ronaldo to return the hat and he leaned forward, what followed next was a total disaster.
Damn, actually? Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't know that was bad. My bad, bro. Like, actually. No, actually.
However, while Stable Ronaldo only endured a slap, the consequences for Booba 100X would be much worse. Booba, known for asking outrageous questions, decided to test Mano's patience by asking about his jewelry. Firstly, he asked if he could borrow Mano's chain, which was a very risky move, but then he took it a step further. Well, this question clearly didn't go well, because within a split second, Mano grabbed Booba by the throat and pinned him down. The video was immediately cut, but it was clear Booba had finally learned a lesson about pushing people too far.
How badly, right, you think I could like beat your ass? Chill.
But let's move on to an incident involving a small streamer named Par Yeet, who decided to mess with a gangster rapper and got more than he bargained for. Notorious for hopping into rappers' Instagram lives and pushing their buttons, Par Yeet decided to mess with rapper Julio Fulio after inviting him on his stream and trolling him with his main rival.
You know that one song Iron Man by you and Youngin Is? That's an underrated one, you know?
But Par Yeet soon realized that he'd gone too far when Fulio began threatening his life on stream.
You see this big dice right here? You see this?
Yeah.
Gambling with your life.
At this point, Par Yeet was visibly scared. The situation would then get worse when Fulio issued a stern warning and abruptly left the stream.
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see what I be posting, bro.
No, I see it, bro. I'm dead ass like a big fan, bro.
You couldn't have, cause I said I'm trying to be positive now. Let me see your screen. Turn the camera.
You said what? Oh, you want to see my stream?
They could see me, they could hear me.
Yeah.
Everybody who on Par Yeet screen, y'all pray for him. He might not make it to see New Year's, y'all.
Yo, listen, Brody, I'm really sorry.
You keep fucking me in my ass.
Don't be sorry, be safe next time, Brody.
Can you?
But while Par Yeet learned a lesson on why you shouldn't mess with the wrong people, the same can't be said for Jack Doherty, who has a record of provoking trouble. Once known as the kid who went viral after flipping markers, Jack Doherty would gain a reputation for his wild stunts and over-the-top pranks. And during a stream with FoolsyTube, Jack would make the mistake of calling him a beta male, which clearly didn't sit well with FoolsyTube.
That box is a hole!
Bro getting slapped around and spit on is insane.